I don't want to play with you anymore.
Guys, the saga of Emilia Perez continues. One of the most exciting and fascinating stories of the beginning of this year. It is not over for Emilia Perez. For those who don't know, Emilia Perez is a movie directed by a French director who made racist comments about Mexico, made a movie set in Mexico about a Mexican drug lord, leader of a drug cartel, who transitions, and that supposedly makes you a wonderful person after doing that. I'm sure you've seen the clips of the movie. If you haven't, I'm going to show them again.
From penis to vagina.
Yes! If I'm going to get that brain rot, you're going to get it too. But anyway, so this movie was apparently pushed very, very hard by Netflix to get awards. Apparently, this is what I heard, that they used one of Harvey Weinstein's former associates, who used to be really good at getting Oscars, to promote this film and bargain in terms of getting this film nominations, because that's how it works. Nominations are paid for, I guess. And so they really went with Emilia Perez, and we're really propping it up with 13 Oscar nominations, a Golden Globe Award for Best Picture, Golden Globes for the cast and the people who wrote the songs, because yes, it is a musical, to get all these awards. But the problem is, despite this movie supposed to be the Mexican movie uplifting trans people, it has been solely rejected as being a racist film by Mexicans, an offensive film, messed up morals, and completely rejected by the same community, LGBT community, the trans community, that it was supposed to prop up. And it became so controversial, and then it just got worse when trans actor Carla Sofia Gascon, trans woman who was nominated Best Actress, first biological man to be nominated for Best Actress, they found some tweets. They found some tweets from Carla's past, including one praising or sympathizing with a certain Austrian dictator, that they then decided that they could not support this person any longer, but it did not stop there. That's where we left off. But what is the saga of Carla Sofia Gascon and Emilia Perez leading to now? Have they been banned from the Oscars? Well, pretty much, but they're not doing it like I thought. I thought that they were going to rescind the nomination, or perhaps even rescind the nomination for Emilia Perez in general. But no, that's not what they're doing. What they're doing is they're sort of shadow banning Carla Sofia Gascon. And in other ways, it still seems that they're trying to salvage Emilia Perez, the movie. So basically, after the tweets were revealed in the firestorm, Carla Sofia Gascon, of his own accord, staged a hour-long CNN interview where they tried to defend themselves, and they were crying and they were saying all this stuff. I don't speak Spanish, so I could not listen to the entire interview, but they did mention this, that they would never hurt anyone, and then when they see a spider, they don't kill it, they pick it up and let it out outside as proof that they are a good person and not racist. Well, I'm convinced. But anyway, so Carla went on and started crying about everything that is happening to them over this situation, but no sympathy was gained for Carla after that interview. In fact, Carla has been completely shunned by everything. Apparently, Netflix is no longer communicating with Carla Gascon anymore. They have cut off all communication from Carla, and they will no longer pay for his ticket to events or any Oscar events or dinner. They're completely cutting them off. They're not paying for any expenses. They are leaving them out of these events, despite the fact that they are still up for Best Actress nomination. They haven't rescinded that. And also, this is a very interesting thing that they announced as they were talking about the procedure for the Oscars telecast, is that they will no longer be doing the 5-pillar in the background format. And for those who don't know, that's usually when they show the 5 nominations for Best Actor, Best Actress out behind everyone, and they're not doing that anymore. Why? Well, they say it's because they don't want to show Carla's face on the big screen to anyone. So that is the most interesting thing. So Carla will no longer be appearing at events, not of his own accord. Carla still is trying to defend themselves, but everyone else has shunned Carla. Everyone else in the cast has shunned them. Listen to what the director said. The director said, "I haven't spoken to her, and I don't want to. She is in a self-destructive approach, and I can't interfere in, and I really don't understand why she's continuing. Why is she harming herself? Why? I don't understand it, and what I don't understand, this too, is why she's harming people who are very close to her." I have my thoughts on that. Now, here's another thing, is that the cast, once again, of Emilia Perez is still defending the film. The director is still defending the film, and he said of, people taking offense at making a Mexican drug cartel out to be this wonderful person as soon as they transition that whole story. He said that the movie isn't supposed to be grounded in reality, and that's why he defends it. He's completely defended his film, and he says the reason we think it's bad is we're watching it wrong or we're watching it in bad faith. Nobody in Hollywood, as apart from the trades who finally came around to it, have rejected Emilia Perez outright. Even just checking out this morning, look how Zoe Saldana has completely thrown Carla Sofia Gascon under the bus as Carla tries to get her support, because Zoe still wants awards for herself. She's trying to save her own skin with this. Now, here's the thing. I just noticed how quickly the story of Carla Sofia Gascon caught fire. It just caught fire everywhere. And all of a sudden, the same people who were propping Carla up as the first trans woman to get an Oscar nomination for Best Actress as this historic event have completely thrown Carla Gascon under the bus and are demonizing them. And I'm not condoning anything that was said in the tweets from Carla, but I do think that Carla Sofia Gascon is being set up to take the fall for this film. And so here's what I think happened behind the scenes. I think that Netflix bargained for this film to get all of those nominations and the Golden Globes and the Oscars and all of that. I think that they bargained for it. I think that they thought that this was going to be their big film, that was going to be that bargaining chip. And then I think that they saw disaster coming ahead because Mexicans and the LGBT community were not coming forward. They hated this movie. They claimed it was offensive. And then, you've got the other side of things where you've got people who just aren't into that. Like, they've lost so many viewerships over the years. They've lost so many people. And here's the thing, and I'm just going to be transparent about this. A lot of people don't care about the trans movement. If you're trans, fine. I don't personally want to go along with the whole pronouns thing, as I said, the whole preferred pronouns things, like needing to continue to call awful people their preferred pronouns, which is the same situation which happened with Chris Chan, Ezra Miller, all that stuff. But, I said that and I gave my reasoning for it in community post, and I said, I think that this movie is an Emperor's New Clothes situation where no one wanted to say that the movie is bad because it had the right ideology, and now look what's happened to them. And I'm like, I think it's the same thing with not admitting that this is in fact a man who got nominated for Best Actress. And guess what? Some people are like, oh, you're gonna lose subscribers over this, and not really. And most people were either like, yeah, I agree with you, or they were like, I don't agree with you, but I respect your right to have that opinion. So that was like most people. It's like most people in the world is like, they don't care about this kind of stuff. They don't care about this sort of performatism that Hollywood was trying to put on with this movie. They don't care about that. I don't think most people want to, like, the performatism of having a biological man be in Best Actress category, even though Carla didn't even give a good performance in the film. It was awful. All of that performatism is why people have been pushed away from the Oscars. And now I think that they even pushed away people who bought into that performatism, because they're seeing that if you do agree with this way of thinking, if you do agree with it, then that the trans community was offended by this movie. So the people behind the scenes in Hollywood don't agree with that way of thinking either. They just want to look good by giving accolades to what they think is the right thing. And so what I think happened is, I think that people behind the scenes in Hollywood, for these various reasons, when they were seeing that this was not going to be a benefit to them, pulled the plug. They slammed on the brakes, and they decide we cannot have Emilia Perez be the Oscars darling that we were trying to make it out to be. And I think that Carla Sofia Gascon was set up to take the fall for all of this, because what people are noting is there's a lot of bad people in the Hollywood elites. There's a lot of people who've done some messed up stuff that Hollywood has tried to defend, but they jumped on Carla and their past tweets very, very quickly, and immediately everyone condemning them completely. And it just makes me wonder, did they know about this all along and they were waiting to pull out these tweets if need be? They just acted so quickly, and I think that this is the sign of maybe making Carla Sofia Gascon take the fall for this movie and just completely condemn them. But here's the problem, is that it's too late. You already gave this movie all these nominations and we're setting it up to win, and it doesn't look like they can take it back now. So what's going to be the result? Well, it looks like Carla isn't going to be attending the Oscars if no one is paying for the expenses of going there, and it would just be a disaster anyway to bring Carla there. So what are they going to do? Well, they're probably just going to have a blank Best Actress place. There's only going to be 4 Best Actresses there at the event that could possibly win, and that's going to be that. So they effectively wasted a Best Actress position over this temporary performatism, and that's just absolutely ridiculous and infuriating to me that they would do this. And so it's like, even if Emilia Perez doesn't win a thing at the Oscars, and let's just say that the movie is DOA now in terms of that, and that it's just not possible for them to win in any of these categories, that is 13 spaces in the categories of Oscars that are now essentially blank, where no one else is who actually deserved it, is gonna get a nomination or a potential win from that. Are you guys thinking what I'm thinking? They have completely destroyed the Oscars over this. They've completely destroyed any integrity the Oscars had. I'm not saying that they had a lot to begin with, but I just mean any kind of integrity with the Oscars over this. They put on a show, a performance about how wonderful they are. They're gonna put out this trans woman as the first trans woman to get it to potentially win Best Actress, to be nominated, and then they changed their minds, decided they don't want this, and go along with canceling this person, and then they just pretend they try to pretend like it didn't happen. And it's like, what's the Oscars gonna be like? It's gonna be, even if they don't bring it up, it's gonna be that weird haze over the Emilia Perez situation. If they try to make self-deprecating jokes about it, it's just gonna make them look bad because they were the ones who started this. And like, who cares about, say, Ariana Grande getting a win for Best Supporting Actress? Who cares about anyone? It's like, this is what the Oscars are. It's been exposed. It's just this, what it always was, a performative show. What does Best Actress mean anymore after this? What does Best Picture mean after Emilia Perez, of all things, gets nominated because Netflix pushed it that hard? Even though it is objectively perhaps one of the worst movies ever made, it is definitely the worst Oscar contender. And this is why people are moving on. Like what I was saying, when Carla Sofia Gascon was first nominated, there wasn't a lot of backlash from the other side, not because I think that no one would care about this, but just because people have moved on from the Oscars and they don't care about the Oscars anymore. Who cares what you do? Who cares about all these films? You've lost all those people because they can see what you are. That's the same thing we were seeing with, Kanye West and Bianca Censori, that controversy at the Grammys. We were seeing that with all the scandal about Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds and what happened between them and Justin Baldini. And just so many things behind the scenes that just show us how out of touch and narcissistic these people are, that make people just want to tune out, and you don't even make great movies anymore. I just think people need to realize that. It seems impossible to get through to these people, though. They're too much in their own selves. They can't realize how they look to other people, and that sometimes you can make a mistake, like nominating Carla Sofia Gascon, and there's no going back for it. It's trying to revive a body after you've killed it. Anyway, just a little rant to get off my chest. I don't know how there's any salvaging this situation or anything like that. It's just completely destroyed any kind of hope I could have for, like, the Oscars ever me having any meaning anymore. And all the people who pushed, like, institutions to be imposed on the Oscars to, like, make them give out awards to the right people and to be more diverse and all that. Did you really think that, like, putting forced mandates on the Oscar voters, do you think that was going to change who they are? If you thought that these people were racist and all of that kind of stuff, did you think that forcing them to do something and putting these mandates and these incentivized awards for what they put in their stuff, did you think that was going to change who they are? No, there's a lot of these awful people behind the scenes who run the Oscars, and they haven't changed, and that's proven by the Emilia Perez situation. One minute they're propping up a movie that they don't know is actually racist and rejected by the trans community, and then the next minute they're completely throwing the lead trans actor in the movie under the bus, setting them up to take the fall because they decided, I don't want to play with you anymore.
I don't want to play with you anymore.
So that's all I got for you guys today. What do you think of this video? Thank you, patrons, as always, for supporting me. If you want to support me on Patreon, please check out the link in the description. Also, I am a filmmaker. If you want to support my work as a filmmaker and continuing to learn that, check out the list of films also in the description. I will see you guys next time.